man. We back. Goodfellas Sports TV. Let's talk about Steph Curry. Yesterday, he broke Ray Allen's record to become the NBA's all-time, most three pointers made. All right, so he's made the most three pointers. Um, he's made the most three pointers in NBA history, man. He only 33 years old. All right, and thing about Steph Curry is, even though we seen him have a fantastic tournament, um, even his parents said that they didn't see this coming. Okay, they didn't see him being this type of player. All right, Dale probably thought he was probably be lucky to be the caliber player that he was, and they just didn't see him becoming this guy. And to be honest, man, even though in college he showed that he can carry what was his college name, man, forget them down there down in the Carolinas. Davidson is what it was. Even though he was a star in the tournament, and LeBron was coming to see him in the tournament, and this, that, and the third, people still didn't see this coming. But hold on. But think about this for a minute. I'm gonna try to look at this real quick. And we almost share the same birthday. Shout out to Steph, almost. But think about this for a minute, bro. Think about this draft class, bro. Think about this for a minute. As we can see on the screen, 6 people was picked in front of him. All like 4 of them was guards. So you think about Johnny Flynn, who really ain't panned out, probably somewhere in Greece. He's somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And and Johnny Flynn was good in Syracuse, bro. So you talking about Ricky Rubio. The Timberwolves could have changed their franchise twice. They had 2 cracks at Steph Curry, and they went with Ricky Rubio. Ricky Rubio had a lot of. I said this the other day, yesterday in one of my videos. I said that Ricky Rubio, had he played in the 90s and 80s, the early 2000s on back, 90s, 80s, and 70s, he'd probably be an all-star. He just fell right in the middle. He just fell right in the middle of Steph Curry, Steph Curry craze. Curry changed the game. The most impactful people on the NBA, you know, is Magic and Bird. As far as them taking the NBA, to people got to remember the NBA finals was on tape delay. They didn't have TV deals before, real TV deals before Magic and Bird. That's why Magic and Bird probably should always be top 5, top 10, no matter how great a player is because Magic and Bird took the NBA out of an abyss. And there was some great players before them: Bob Cousy, Jerry West, um, Pete Maravich is one of my favorite players of all time. Very revolutionary. He just didn't get a chance to have an impact till later. When you look at N1, you look at the Skip to My Lose and the AOs and the hot sauce, man, go look at some of the stuff that Pete Maravich was doing. I still can't do some of the drills that he was doing, but Ricky Rubio was back in those days, he'd be an all-star. But Steph Curry just changed the game. They had 2 cracks at Steph Curry. You got to be sick. Memphis took Tyreek Evans out of they took Tyreek Evans out of Memphis, and that's when Calipari still was there. And you understood that, bro. You really did. You understood that he was a good player, and he's still a good player. But the issue with him, he out the league. I think he got suspended too, bro. So I don't think he on the suspension from the league. I think it should have been up. But the difference was with him, he just fell into Steph Curry-ism, And Steph Curry changed the game where you had to be able to shoot the rock. Think about that for a minute. Tyreek Evans, you put him in the 90s and 80s, he'd dominate. He just really never developed that consistent jump shot. And Steph Curry changed the game. James Harden's a good player, but I would have Steph Curry. Sheena Beat out of Connecticut just never really panned out. He over there making money somewhere for the Ghost Hawks. Never really panned out. And then Blake Griffin, good player, but Curry is the guy. You look below Curry, and DeMar DeRozan was a good guy. Another guy that probably be a lot better in a different era. You know what I'm saying? But he tearing it up right now. He had a great career. You know, he redrafted this. You know, he might be the second guy. To the guy Brandon Jennings, you know, got injured in Detroit. He was having us rolling, bro. Love Brandon Jennings, but never, really panned out. Gerald Henderson, Terrence Williams, Tyler Hansbrough. Yeah, we drafted Austin that year. I'm a Piston fan. Talking about Detroit Channel, Marcy Sports Talk, by the way. James Johnson's still doing it, but Drew Holiday, man, he's still around. You know, Jeff Teague, he's still around. Darren Collison just retired. You know what I'm saying? I remember Eric Manor out of VCU. Ty Lawson was good, but you got to think about it. Look at this draft real quick. Damari Carroll, I think he's still around. Look at this draft. DeJuan Blair, he really didn't have no knees. When we drafted Jonas, Rebecco. Look at this draft. Chase Budinger took him. Got traded to Houston though. Look at this draft, man, and Patty Mills in there. I didn't know Patty Mills was in that draft. He's still doing it, obviously, with the Brooklyn Nets. But look at this draft, man, and Steph Curry had an impact that changed all these dudes in the draft. All these guards who couldn't shoot, Steph Curry ushered in an era that really phased them out. You know, the way they started when he really got into that, and you got to think Mark Jackson. He should be sending Mark Jackson a Rolex too, because he gave DeMar DeRozan and Andre Iguodala a Rolex. 90% of the league coaches wouldn't allow Steph Curry to shoot the ball like he was gonna shoot the ball. I play for guys like that where I can shoot, but they gonna get on the block or they you know what I'm saying. So he really needed to be thinking, him and Clay when they go to the Hall of Fame, when they win every championship, they really need to be thanking Mark Jackson for allowing them to play their game. Because a lot of these coaches out here, they wouldn't allow them to play the game how they played the game and shoot the ball. Mark Jackson is just as responsible for Steph Curry doing it. Because Steve Kerr came in, he wouldn't have let Steph shoot like that, bro. Real talk. I'll tell you that right now. Steph and Clay would have had to put the pistol to his head for him to do that. And he had the most impact. He's the most impactful player. He's one of the most five impactful players in NBA. You got Magic and Bird, right? Because what I just talking about, what they deal with, taking the league to another level. You got Michael Jordan, who piggybacked off Magic and Bird and took it to another level, and he took it international. Magic and Bird took it national. And, helped the international game, but Michael Jordan was a superstar that the league haven't seen since. Michael was an anomaly. And then you got Allen Iverson. He changed the game as far as how these guys are able to dress with the cornrows, the tattoos, and also too, you got to remember, he was like the prequel to what we see of the combo guards. You know what I'm saying? He was like the combo guard that kind of made it cool. So, then you got Iverson for everything he did, plus being the combo guard, and he really didn't win a championship because not just how he played, because the league didn't want him to be the face, but he became the one that merged the hood with the NBA. He's the one. He made it cool for these dudes to really express themselves. And so yeah, he's my favorite player of all time. And then you talk about LeBron James, who Michael Jordan was the one who really manipulated the business, and he really manipulated, but LeBron James took it to another stratosphere. You know what I'm saying? The way LeBron, has, changed the narrative of I won't even say the narrative. Well, yeah, he changed the narrative and how the NBA's play. Like, I don't have to be faithful to one team. I can move around, do what I want to do. You know what? I'm gonna go get this championship. I ain't gonna have no shame in my game. And say what you want to say. Kevin Garnett ain't the biggest LeBron James fan, but he basically told them cats, LeBron, like, man, he told them, like, every day I signed that contract back to Minnesota, we kept losing. I cried every day. I had all the money in the world, everything. I cried every day from losing. He said, go do what's best for y'all. And when an OG like Kevin Garnett said that, you got to respect it. And he changed. Also he brought the AAU unification in the NBA where everybody's buddy. Where there ain't no more rivalries. In the NFL, you could blame rivalries on them taking the physicality out with targeting and stuff. But in NBA, LeBron James ushered in the AAU era, and he really made the league friendly, even though, It does get competitive, but it wasn't competitive like Miami and the Knicks, Jordan, the Pistons. I mean, even the Lakers and the Kings, in the 2000s, the Lakers and Trail, but it doesn't have that grit no more. But he ushered that in. It ain't his fault. He didn't create AAU. He just was the figurehead of it. And he, like I said before, LeBron biggest impact is the business. He did what Michael Jordan did and perfected it. You know what I'm saying? And obviously LeBron James. But and then you talking about Steph Curry, he revolutionized how basketball is played. And like I said before, he got to thank Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson helped him. He got to thank Iguodala. He got to help Draymond. Thank Draymond, Andrew Bogut, all his teammates for sure. But Mark Jackson able to foresee and say, you know what, man, I see him in practice every day. He let that thing fly. I believe in him. For him to give him and Klay the green light, without Klay, without Mark, without everybody else equal out, that shit don't work. And he'll tell you that it doesn't work. If Mark Jackson made him play tradition, you gotta remember, Mark Jackson was a traditional point guard. Was my Pistons hire him as a coach, but he was a traditional point guard. But he didn't project what he believed on Steph. He might have like, man, let's try to make Steph a traditional point guard. And he said he probably seen like, oh, it wasn't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? And he allowed Steph to be Steph. Without him, allowing that, if you put Steve Kerr in there in the beginning, they don't win what they're doing. Mark Jackson told everybody they was the greatest shooting backcourt, greatest shooting players he's seen. He said, I seen him in practice every day. And once Steph started to stabilize physically and be healthy, that was a huge part of it. It was over with. And as far as how the game is played on the court, he's the most impactful player of his generation. If you go to these kids' basketball games, these kids in the layup line is shooting threes. You know what I'm saying? Remember you said to shoot layups, and then we lucky before the game started, we get an elbow shot. It was layups, free throws, and we lucky if we get to the elbow shot. Now these kids warming up, just chucking up threes. You got kids that's 10 years old taking 2 steps over half court and letting it go. And they making it more times than missing it damn near. Everybody is doing it. Now, as far as on the court, who was more impactful, him or Michael? It's tough because niggas was dressing like Mike. I mean, even off the basketball court, they would just stand at the school the week going to the games, or you in the street. People, L had everybody with they little pants leg up in the 90s, man. But everybody was trying to be like Mike on the court. You know what I'm saying? But if I really had to be honest about his impact, I would say he was more impactful than Michael Jordan. How everybody, I will give him that. He's probably the most impactful player in the league on the court. You know what I'm saying? For sure, bro. And obviously, he's the greatest shooter of all time. I mean, I've been said that. People just focus on the negativity that I say about Steph Curry, but I don't classify him as a point guard. He's a 2 or a combo guard. That's fine. He ain't somebody who can come down the court and run your offense. That's not him every time. He can. That's not him. Klay taking on the best defender and allowing him to rest. He is what Allen Iverson and other guys, Nate Tiny Archibald, and guys like that laid the foundation. He is the perfection of the combo guard. When I talk about point guards, I get very sensitive of point guards. Magic, Isaiah, Stockton, Kidd, Mark Jackson. I'm really the position is the position. And I really get sensitive because I don't classify him as a point guard. That's cool. He's the greatest shooter of all time. And he might stake a claim as, I think he's the greatest combo guard of all time. You might, if you want to classify him as a 2, he might be one of the greatest 2s of all time, right behind Michael. That's some great 2s, Clyde Drexler, Dwayne Wade, James Harden, but Harden is more of a point guard, than Steph Curry is. If you really look at it, especially what he's doing in Brooklyn, even in Houston. So just because they label, and this is a position league, just because they label somebody something, you really got to look at the definition of the position. But yeah, he's the greatest shooter of all time, man. And the only chink in his armor about being the greatest shooter of all time, only case you can make is that he really ain't made though. He really ain't showed up in those big games in the finals. Only when Kevin Durant, he's a front runner. You know what I'm saying? When if he get, once he start getting up, he will hit shot. But when you talking about he's hit game winners for Oklahoma City Thunder, it's true. But when you talking about when it's down, when the chips on the table, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go with Reggie. I'm gonna go with Bird. I'm gonna go with Michael. When the game on the line, Steph Curry ain't a guy that's Ray Allen. He's just not the guy that right off the bat that I know gonna hit a game winning shot in a big moment in the finals. That's the only case you can make. Cause when the chips on the table, I'd rather have Michael taking a three on with the game on, and that's just my opinion. But but in the finals, he just tends to disappears, and that's the only thing. That's the only thing you really can say about him. And you can look at the stats when Cleveland came back 4-1, from 3-1. You can look at the stats when the chips on the table. It's a preference of guys I'd rather have taken the last shot, and it's no disrespect. I'm just being honest. But it says LeBron James, Tom Brady, Reggie Miller, all of the new 3-point king, Steph Curry. He changed the game. And he did. He did. Shout out to Steph. I ain't gonna play it. Can we? All right. See if we can find this. Oh, Ray Allen came out to the Garden. And, it's fitting that he did it in the Garden. Michael Jordan and all these players used to love LeBron and all these guys used to love doing it in the Garden. I think it's fitting that he did it in the Garden. You know what I'm saying? He said, I just landed Dallas City. Steph Curry broke the record, and to make it even doper, he did it in the Garden. Wow, congrats, brother. Incredible facts. The Garden is the Mecca, bro. And it was fitting. Even if he went through a shooting slump, this is what it's for. Yeah, 2,974 more on the way. Congrats to the guy, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. Tom Brady, congrats to my friend and Under Armour teammate with an accomplishment of Steph Curry. That's huge, bro. You got to remember, he may have, I'm going to say, look, I'm going to be the minimum. He might have 3 more prime years left, but it's kind of like boxing where you say, well, the last thing to go is the power. The last thing to go is shooting, bro. He said, bang, the official 3 guy, his brother. Shout out to Seth. Great shooter in his own right. He did change he changed the game. only guy you can talk about that changed the game on the court more than him that I can think of, 80s and back and up to where he is now. Only guy I can think is Michael Jordan. That's the only guy who I can think that guys were trying to be like, and I lived it. Everybody's trying to be like Mike, like him or not. I mean, you got Under Armour, 2,974 in count. Congratulations, Steph Curry, on becoming the greatest 3-point shooter ever. To commemorate this milestone in our ongoing effort to change the game for good, Corey Brand is building 3 new courts in Oakland, Charlotte, New York City. Shout out to them. He said, congrats, Russell Wilson. And his dad right there. They kind of went through some tough times and stuff, but tough times last. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. Trae Young, this is crazy, man. Literally a game changer. He's a beneficiary of Steph Curry. He is. He's a beneficiary, man. He got the green light because of Steph. John Moran, congrats, Steph Curry in the Garden too. That's tough. That's what it's all about. I've said this. He'd probably rather do it in the Garden than in Oakland. Just special. John Wall, congratulations. Hashtag 2,974. Miles Bridges, congratulations, Steph Curry, living legend. Rudy Gobert, greatness. Steph Curry, Jamal Murray, craziness. Fire. Congratulations, GOAT. Steph Curry, Buddy Love, Buddy Hield. He another guy who was able to do what he wanted to do in college and the pros because of Steph. He'd tell you, Devon Mitchell, special, congrats. Terrence Ross, history. Victor Oladipo, congrats. Mo Harkless, man, breaking the record in the Garden is almost too good to be true. Legendary stuff. It's movie script stuff, man. Terrence Ross, real question. How many threes we end up with? And you got Myles Garrett, shouting him out. Congratulations, Steph Curry changed the game forever. So, I mean, come on, man. You got these OGs that came, him, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, with their jerseys. You got these OGs that embraced them. And we living in the you might want to get one of these. I might grab one of these, maybe give a couple away. But you got these OGs, and we live in a time where the OGs do more snitching and self-snitching and hating than the young guys. And these dudes going to show love. And then, like I said before, he was the greatest shooter before he broke the record. This was validation. But will his record ever be broken? Like I said, Shaq said the record never be broken. But the way these kids shooting the basketball and they got the green light because of him, I'm gonna say he is probably gonna be broken. Not right away, not quick, but Trae Young, just the longevity. The way they shooting threes is gonna be broken. But that doesn't stop him from being the greatest basketball player of all time because they able to break the record because of him. Without him in this equation, people don't have the green. Don't shoot. These kids ain't shooting like him. They shooting like this in elementary school, bro. So check out the NBA Talk playlist. I wanted to give a really, really good tribute video to Steph Curry. I was trying to really think around the 8 to 12 minute mark. But great. The best thing about it couldn't happen to a better guy. Great guy. Beautiful family, great family. It couldn't happen to a better guy, man. So Dale Ray's a good dude. You say what you want to say about Dale. No man is perfect. You say what you want to say about his mother, Sonia. Nobody's perfect, man. They raised a great guy, and that's the best thing about it. It couldn't happen to a better guy. And Reggie Miller is one of my 5 favorite players of all time. I don't think that ever will change. I wore the number for Reggie Miller. I played the game like because of how Reggie Miller played. He was one of my favorite. If you talk about 5 favorite basketball players of all time, it's Allen Iverson, Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant, Reggie Miller, and for me, Magic Johnson. Those are my top 5 favorite. But hey, check out the NBA Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to help the channel. That subscribe button, the bell icon button, hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. Check out the NBA Talk playlist, more videos like this. Want to financially support the channel? Cash App CJ Good B13, Venmo CJ Good B13, PayPal in the description. Best way to donate. Just keep sharing the videos. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Peace.